And we are live. We are back for episode 37, I believe, of the WagerWise MMA podcast.
Yes,
Here,
sir.
joined by my friend, as always, Desperate Times Ryan. Ryan, my bro, how you doing?
I'm great this morning, mate. How are you?
You're doing great this morning.
Yeah, I'm feeling
Love that. Love that. Love to hear that going in early. How'd you go last week?
Not good.
Yeah.
Went down 5 units, and it was all decided by what was it? All decided by
Not that Khalil Yiri you won.
fucking patchy mix.
Oh God.
Yeah, that patchy mix. Fuck that.
What'd you do? Did you put 18 units on him as an anchor?
Hell, fucking no. But he getting him would have been the difference between finishing slightly positive to finishing down. There
Yeah,
was
right.
some, Macy Chiasson absolutely fucked us over as well.
Yeah,
Um, also got fucked over by Ankalaev, which
yeah.
I wasn't too upset by that loss.
No.
How about you, mate?
I went okay. I definitely like the Ankalaev TKO spot was an obvious letdown. I kind of think that's like an iteration of that fight. That I mean, like Pereira's got the power to kind of do that to anyone when he does choose to go. So like, I'm not particularly shocked by that result. Like, I was very
Mm.
confident that Ankalaev was going to finish him. But that's always an outcome in a Pereira fight, so I wasn't too upset. Um, had a little nibble on the Cory money line, which I didn't think was an awful shot. It's
No,
Merab,
neither. Yeah,
so that's just what happens. But again, if minus 400 for a guy who's not really likely to finish, although he did almost finish Cory. I'm pretty happy to take that bet, and I do it most times. I took the unders in the Emmett and Zalal fight, which I messaged you about, which I was pretty
beautiful.
confident in. So I had a nice plus money hit there. I had Pyfer by submission, which hit as well. So
Finally
I had
hit.
it finally hit. So I'm going to keep chasing that probably,
Yeah,
and see how many more we can get down. But yeah, Jusang Yu was a fucking letdown as well.
you saying you.
Just a couple of letdown spots.
Yeah, I got my
But
boy Ramiz Brahimaj to
yeah,
on
Ramiz
the
did
card.
well. Ramiz did well for us. Another probably the best dog on the card, I'd say, value wise.
Oh, he was
Um,
incredible.
but yeah, it was not an awful night. But now we have a fight night, which sounds very weird to say, given you can see the main event on the screen. But it is a fight night, and I think it's a very good fight night. To be quite honest with you,
Plenty of
um,
attackable spots in
it's
life.
in Rio, right?
Yep.
Yeah, in Rio. So looking forward to this one. Obviously headlined by Oliveira and Gamrot, which is an absolute banger. But as always, bottom to top, let's do this.
Let's do it, my friend.
All right. First fight off the. I don't actually know if this is the first fight, but we always go off ESPN order, so we will just stick with that. Give me 2 secs to refresh my odds panel so I can just check that properly. But kicking us off is a bantamweight scrap between Luan Lacerda 12-3 and Simon Oliveira 18-6. Prices we have Luan Lacerda minus 260 and Simon Oliveira plus 220. Um, I'll kick us off with this one. Simon Oliveira, I think he is awful on the feet, to be quite honest with you. He's low volume, single shot output. He's got next to no footwork. He's just such a hittable target because he kind of just covers up and absorbs, but doesn't look to either exit range or even to counter those opening shots from his opponent. And in my opinion, that's just bad. It's just a bad showing on multiple parts there. I do think that he has faced tough matchups in the division, to be honest with you. Like Daniel Marcos, not really an easy fight for anyone, let alone a guy like Simon Oliveira. David Martinez, very, very tough as well, obviously. So I do think he's faced some good guys, but in my opinion, he's just looked lost when his game plan doesn't come off. And I don't really know what his game plan is, to be honest, like a lot of the time. He gets wild and loose and he gets punished generally. I think his wrestling is pretty fucking bad to be quite honest with you. Like he's okay against the cage because he is like naturally pretty strong and athletic, but he has such obvious and telegraph wrestling entries. It's just so inefficient. He's got bad skills in my opinion. He's got bad fight IQ to match. I'm very very low on this guy. Um, Onto Luan Lacerda. I think he's okay. Like I think he's just okay everywhere, but not great anywhere. He's got some tools in all three departments of MMA that it can make him dangerous. Like and what I mean by that, like grappling wise, he's not particularly good, but like he can roll into leg locks and weird positions like that and threaten you. And like on the feet, I wouldn't say he's particularly good, but he does have like big hooks in the pocket that can land on you and cause some big damage. But like overall, in terms of process, I think he's pretty low level and low percentage in terms of his tools that he uses. Last fight against Blackshear was an extremely bad look. Like second round was just dead tired early. I thought that was a really really bad look. Overall, I kind of just think this is about the lowest level fight you can get here. I kind of think Lacerda can walk him down late with damage, but he's also shown that he can slow down at like even a moderate pace. Oliveira is to me is kind of just like a physical frame, but like that could be enough in this fight that he could wear him against the cage and sort of just wear him down. I think it's an ugly fight. I think it's pretty volatile. I'm not really interested in getting involved on any front, to be quite honest with you. But Luan Lacerda minus 240, whatever it was, like he's awful, to be honest. So I couldn't pay that on him. But I also think Simon Oliveira is awful too. So I'm not rushing to the window on this one. Pretty happy to pass.
Yeah, I'm on the exact same boat as you. Like when I first looked into this fight, I just thought they're both like pretty similar. Like they're both shit on the feet.
Yeah.
Oliveira, I think he's more shitter, but I feel like he's the one that's more comfortable to engage in the feet. Like he has a Muay Thai style, um, uses a lot of front kicks, spinning attacks, and he can be high output in the boxing range, but he'd like march forward like so stiff, and his chin is just there to be hit. Like we saw David Martinez just get him with that counter right, and Daniel Marcos, who finishes no one at UFC level, really finished him with a body shot. Lacerda, though, he's kind of more just kick orientated, but he doesn't really set anything up. He just spams kicks without like setup from distance and just lunges in with his leaping 1-2s. He is fast though and unpredictable, and he can definitely surprise opponents. But yeah, neither of these guys are any good on the feet. They are pretty good jiu-jitsu players, but like they actively try to get the fights to the mats and threaten some subs. Oliveira, he favors his front chokes more as well as ground and pound, while Lacerda is more diverse. Like he'll work towards taking the back to attack rear naked chokes, but also can transition to arm bars, triangles, guillotines, and heel hooks. It could be potential to be a fun one because they're both such poor strikers who just leap in and throw caution to the wind. But yeah, I do look forward to see some grappling exchanges between the two. And I do think Lacerda's physicality and frame, as well as positional awareness, will see him get the win here. But yeah, I'm not really excited to get on any betting side here. Just going to pass on it. I do lean Lacerda, but
Yeah, nice. I can't believe Simon Oliveira has a Muay Thai background. Like you watch this guy fight, he looks like he's never done a striking class in his life. To be honest with you, like
yeah, pretty
he's
bad.
so hittable and his output is terrible. So I thought he had a grappling background, and then I'm watching tape and they're always talking about he's got this Muay Thai background. I'm like,
Yeah,
what the fuck? This guy's fought Muay Thai. It's unbelievable. Like
yeah,
it's actually shocking.
hmm
That's how we're kicking off the card.
yeah.
Okay, up to women's strawweight. I reckon I know what side you're going to be on here, but obviously wait to hear that. Julia Palastri, 13-5, taking on Karolina Kovalkiewicz, 16-9. Prices we have. Love this. Julia Palastri, minus 450. The comeback, Carolina, plus 350. Ryan, please tell us, does Julia cover this minus 450 price tag, or is Carolina a wonderful dog on this card?
Look, Julia probably wins this by like just outgunning Carolina, but I'll be damned if I'm laying anything around minus 450, minus 500 on Julia Palastri. If anything, it might be worth keeping an eye on Carolina's decision line.
Yeah.
She is 40, way past it, but she just faced like two Brazilian powerhouses and Denise Gomes, Yasmin Lucindo, and that seems to be a kryptonite. Like the style of Gomes, Lucindo, and Andrade, who are able to just big sister her and scare her with her power. Prior to that, Carolina was on that 4-fight win streak against girls who I just feel are the level of Pilastri, maybe even better. But that was a few years ago, and maybe now she's at the point of no return with her durability and willingness to engage. So yeah, the pick is Pilastri. We'll keep an eye on the Carolina decision line if I have some extra money to donate. But yeah, the ugly fight.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't know. Luxury minus 450 here. I get it, age, output, all that sort of stuff. But Carolina's fought the way better competition overall over a long period of time. Yes, she's 39 now, but Julia Pilastri fucking sucks, to be honest with you. Her process on the feet is terrible. She doesn't really offer anything of substance damage wise and is a literal punching bag in return. She just got ragdolled by Loopy, Loopy threw her around like it was nothing and controlled her, off her back. Look, I will give her this. She doesn't give up on herself. She's probably going to be in front of you for 15 minutes, but like, if I can liken her fighting style to an animal, she's like an annoying mosquito. Like, like she's really not going to do that much damage to you, but she's just going to be there, just like nipping at you, really annoying you for 15 minutes. So, to get to minus 450 on her is insanity. But in saying that, she does give some like psycho bunny boiler, crazy bitch energy that I feel like is literally equating to her fighting style. So yeah, I mean, would I be? I think she should win, just given she's younger, she has good output. She's going to be in there for 15 minutes. But like, if Carolina was also just a grapple fucker, I really would not be surprised. So it has to be dog or pass here. Just has to be dog or pass. Laying minus 450 on Julia, who has no finishing upside whatsoever, and is an absolute punching bag on the feet and has negative grappling. I kind of feel like you have to play Carolina here. So absolutely dog or pass here for mine.
Yeah, completely agree.
Alrighty, up the card to heavyweight. I love this. I absolutely love this. This is the main event of the evening for me. Volta Walker 14-1 taking on Mo Usman 12-4. Prices, we got a Volta Walker minus 315 and a Mo Usman comeback plus 265. I'll kick us off here. I love Volta. I'm going to be honest. I got fucked on him against Lucas Brzeski, but apart from that, he's cashed 3 times in a row for us on that sub prop very, very quickly. So yeah, I like this guy. He has been a bit of a cash collector for me in the last couple of fights. And I kind of think he does it again. Look, he's versing Mo Usman, who I think is, I think it's fair to say he's like on the lower end of things for sure. But he has some good traits. Like his jab is pretty good. He's big. He's athletic. He's a big body. I'd say he's moderately athletic for heavyweight division. The bad thing is he's coming up against Volta, who is, much the same. A very athletic type of heavyweight that can move decently, has decent speed, good ground game, obviously. I think he's probably going to be at a striking disadvantage against Mo Usman, just given like that good jab and straight shots. But it's not like Mo Usman's throwing massive volume or anything like that. So I'm not too concerned about that. I think Volta will get this fight to the ground at some point, whether it's through pulling guard or doing some weird shit against the fence. I like his commitment there. And I think he probably gets another submission. I don't think it'll be a heel hook this time. Maybe a rear naked choke or something on the back. But yeah, I think Volta wins. Minus 315 is not particularly enticing, to be quite honest, because I do think Mo Usman does have, some path to victory. And Volta late has been, has shown to be a little bit of an issue. So I'm not running to play that price, but I do think he wins here.
Yeah, I've cashed on Volta with you like the past 3 times. Like I don't know, he was a underdog, I believe, against Tafa, which was great.
Okay.
Parlayed him against Mays and had his submission line, which was at plus 700, plus 800 or something against Kennedy. For this fight, I don't have the best read. Like I know Walker is on a roll with those 3 heel hooks in a row, and you got to think he's going to look to extend it to 4 straight heel hooks. But I just feel it's too easy to just think he does it to Mo Usman, who I don't think Usman is good at all. But you look at the guys Volta is walking through, like Tafa, Mays, and Kennedy. Like Mo Usman is at least more aware as a grappler than any of those guys. Can't deny that Walker looks to be in great shape. He's really coming to his own after a pretty bad debut, riding a ton of momentum. But Usman ain't no slouch. He does come from a wrestling background. He's high in his volume, carries some decent power that could scare off Walker and like on the feet. Like I just question if Usman can avoid getting tangled up here. Like Usman has the defensive grappling to stuff takedowns and defend against defense, but it's not necessarily a takedown he's stopping. He's got to stop Walker tangling up at his lower body, which I just don't know how you stop that. And once Walker gets there, like Usman will have to mind his P's and Q's to not get caught, which you got to think he's prepared for to an extent. Like he probably knows Walker's going to come in looking for that heel. And the thing is, if Walker doesn't get that first round sub, what happens from there? Like we still don't know how his cardio is through 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
His takedown attempts can be very sloppy looking, even when he's fresh, and he just seems to be allergic to striking. And Usman has gone 15 minutes several times, and he fights well through 15. So yeah, I'm like I said, I don't have the best read of this fight. If I think Usman is better than he's gonna be, then I probably won't end up taking a side here. This might be my fight to take the fight to start round 3 or over 1.5, like I love doing. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I want to look at more tape.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, I'm not rushing to get back there. I mean, we've cashed 3 times nicely on him. I don't really want to give that back to the book. So it's not one that you have to, rush in and play, in my opinion, for this one. Over 1.5 is pretty favoured. It's like minus 180. Over 2.5 is like plus money. So you'll get it, but it'll have to be later.
Yeah.
So not the worst look there. We'll see. I wonder what his sub prop is priced at now. Like I'd be surprised it's bigger than like plus 200.
Plus 200, yeah. I loved catching his sub props when it was plus 700, plus 800. But
it's back to 180, plus 180.
Yeah.
Not much juice there for mine.
Nah.
All right, up the card. Interested to see what you have about this one. Flyweights scrap between Lucas Rocha, 17-2, taking on Australia's Stewie Nicol, 8-1. Prices we have. Close fight here. Lucas Rocha, slight favourite, minus 120. Come back on Stewie Nicol, plus 100. So pretty close. Slight favouritism towards Rocha. Who wins this fight, my friend?
Well, this is a clash of styles that could end up being an absolute barn burner. Yeah, both are coming off unsuccessful debuts. Rocha losing to Clayton Carpenter by second round sub, and Stuart Nicol losing to Jesus Aguilar by round 1 sub. Despite the bad results, I think they're both UFC ready, in my opinion. Rocha's a tenacious striker, throws nasty combos to the head and body, explosive in his movements, and has incredible finishing instincts. He can be taken down and controlled quite easily, however. Like he is very much willing to play the jiu-jitsu game off his back, which would be something to worry about because Stuart Nicol is known for his high-level grappling. His takedowns are well-timed, has dominant control from the top, has solid judo and jiu-jitsu, and he has serviceable striking. Like he's not out of his realm in the stand-up. Like I like his combos in the pocket, and he's going to be the bigger guy here. Like Rocha is only 5'3". He's way undersized for the division, but funnily enough, he has missed weight badly in the past as well. Not sure if it was because of a last-minute replacement or something, but yeah, he's missed weight by like 6 pounds, 5 pounds. But yeah, got to expect for as long as they're on their feet that Rocha will probably be getting the better of the exchanges and has potential to get a TKO. And on the ground, Nicol has the massive upside and could get a ground and pound finish. He could get a sub or ride his way to a decision. I think it's going to be a close fight, and the odds definitely reflect that with Rocha coming in as the slight favorite. But I do think Nichols is the side here for me, and I'm not just saying that because he's got a plus money tag in this, and he's an Aussie. Rocha does have twice the experience. He's a hometown guy and is 5 years younger. But I think his defensive grappling deficiencies will be the deciding factor here for me. And Nicol knows where his bread is buttered and won't stray from that. In his last fight, he got too ahead of himself and fell into one of the best guillotines in the game. He won't make that mistake here. And I see him using Rocha's blitzes forward, overcommitting to punches as entries for takedowns. And I see him winning this fight with multiple takedowns, a lot of control time, and landing damage from the top. Not sure if he gets a finish or not, but I did play him at plus 105.
Very nice. I think, I'm not super confident here, to be quite honest with you. I don't have a super solid read. I've known Stewie Nickel for a while. Like watched him on the regional scene quite a bit. Fought a fair bit in beatdown promos, which is run by Damien Brown and my good friend, old coach. He's a champion in that promotion, so I kind of know it pretty well. But he hasn't really fought anyone too good in in that scene. Like everyone he's fought on regionals has been pretty average. So it was hard to kind of get a litmus test of where he was or is in the division. And then he comes in against Jesus Aguilar, gets like a nice placement in UFC Perth, where he's from in Australia, and completely shits the bed, like gets out physicaled by Jesus Aguilar, who is 5 foot nothing, and just has a lot of gaps in his game, and really just kind of got dominated. Like he put himself right in the way of that guillotine. Didn't really try and do anything to defend it, and went out like in 2 minutes in front of his own crowd. So I really struggle to see how that will affect him here. Like I hope that he takes it positively and uses it as like positive to get back on track. But I worry that it really could be bad for him because he's now traveling to Brazil in front of a Brazilian crowd against a guy like Rocha who has a lot of dog in him. Like he's a small, not physical fighter. But that's the same as Jesus Aguilar, who Nickel just struggled against. And Rocha's going to be in there for 15 minutes, like going to keep fighting. He's good on the feet. He's got good volume. He can land those knees up the middle. Like I had Darby Bittencourt in, I think it was Darby Black. I think it was on Dana White's Contender Series. I think he had another like slightly different name, but I remember the fight very well. And Darby literally just ragdolled him with takedown attempts in the first round. Consistently took him down, worked back up, took him down, worked back up, and he gassed out extremely badly. And then Lucas Rocha landed that massive knee up the middle and finished him round 2. So I worry that could happen again here. Like I think Stewie Nickel kind of has to grapple to be in this fight, and I think Rocha has shown definitely a weakness in that area. But I worry if he doesn't do it the correct way that he's going to gas out and Rocha's going to take over. So I think the books have nailed this one. I'd probably have Rocha slight favourite, but I'm not interested in really getting involved in this one.
Yeah, agree with that.
It'll be a good fight though, I reckon. I think it'll be a really good fight. Okay, women's bantamweight. We have Bia Mesquita 5-0, Arena Alexeva 5-3. Prices, we have a Bia Mesquita minus 550, and then Alexeva plus 400. Look, I mean, can you get any lower on Alexeva than where I am currently? I don't think so. She is just dog shit. She's dog shit. She's absolute dog shit. And now she's getting fed to a girl who has pretty good striking, to be honest with you. Good power, fights out of a good camp. Alexeva literally has like 3.5 minutes of cardio, and then she's gone. I don't know how you could. I guess she's plus 400, but she sucks. I don't want to be anywhere near her. Bia Mesquita probably finishes her round 2, round 3 here, in my opinion.
I'm with you. I have nothing more to add there.
It's not much you can add. It's a dog shit fight. She sucks.
Yeah.
You think this is a marching papers?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, can they let her get to 5-5 in the UFC? Like her overall record, 5-5? Surely not.
Nah. Hopefully, just for that performance she did last time, where she just didn't even attempt a single takedown. I hope Mesquita like fucks her up.
And probably will.
Yeah.
All right, up the card we have heavyweight fight between Vitor Petrino 12-2 taking on Thomas Jefferson, Thomas Peterson 10-3.
Thomas Jefferson.
Prices, we have Vitor minus 310, Thomas Jefferson plus 260. Ryan, please tell us who wins this fight.
Yeah, this seems like a layup, but I think I'd be a little careful with this one. I wouldn't count Austin Lane to be a legitimate first test in heavyweight waters for Petrino. Like, he absolutely ran through him, but Lane is not only a brittle guy who gets finished by everyone, but he's not a big heavyweight. Like, Thomas Peterson is a big heavyweight. He's not that good. He's a serviceable journeyman with wins over Mo Usman and Dontel Mays. Comes from a wrestling background too, and his game is to just wear on you by cage pushing or eventually getting on top. Do I think he does this against Petrino? Probably not. I think Petrino probably gets him out of there in round 1, probably through strikes, if anything. But with odds like this, I'm not willing to parlay a guy who was known as the biggest fraud check of 2024, someone who stuck his neck in Anthony Smith's guillotine and gave him a win. Yeah, the pick is Vitor Petrino. No bet here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, to get to minus, what is he, 310 for this guy who is low volume, has shit the bed on multiple occasions. I'm just not interested in doing it. I'm really not. Like, how many times does he have to win this fight out of 10 to even be profitable? It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Yeah, he's going to be the more athletic guy, but Peterson is like, yeah, he's on the lower end of things, but like I think he's kind of fine. He's not terrible. Like he's not. I don't think he's a terrible fighter. Is he good? No, but he's not terrible. Like he's got some traits that can make him hard to beat. But I think Vitor power advantage, probably strength advantage. You would think. Size is going to be pretty comparative, but we'll have sorry the reach advantage as well. I'm with you. I think Vitor wins, but the juice is just not worth the squeeze with this
No.
guy. I can't add him to parlays. You can't add him to much. Minus 310. It's just like, look at it. Probably will win. Pass. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, he seems like the type that'll just like try to get like a trip on Thomas Jefferson and just end up on his back and not be able to get out for a round. But yeah, he should win. But
Imagine that. He wins round 1. Round 2's close. And then round 3, he spends 5 minutes on his back because he fell over and can't get Thomas Jefferson off him.
I can see it. I
Could
honestly
happen.
can see it. Yeah.
Absolutely could happen. So, yeah, not worth the squeeze for me at all there. All right, up the card, headlining the... I think this is headlining the prelims, right?
Yeah.
Jafel Filio, 16-4, taking on Clayton Carpenter, 8-1. Prices, we have Clayton Carpenter, slight favourite, minus 125. There's been a lot of movement around these prices throughout the week, up and down, up and down. The comeback on Jafel Filio, plus 105. You could kick us off again with this one, mate. You didn't get much to say on that last one, so feel free to take the lead.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, this is probably my most anticipated fight on this card, if I'm honest. I'm a big fan of Clayton Carpenter. I love the skill set he brings, and he has so many accolades from before before his MMA career. He's a Muay Thai champion, Golden Gloves champion, multiple grappling championships as well. And yeah, I love his game. His takedowns are hard to stop. He has great control from the top with his wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Also got solid striking chops as well. He's very aggressive on the feet, very forward pressure heavy. Defense could be a little tighter, but he makes up for it with his activity. And he is coming off his first loss to Tagir Ulanbekov, where he fought valiantly enough there, got his own takedown and control time. Like Tagir ain't a bad loss to have, and will be a good learning curve. And he's got a pretty tough test here in Jafel Filio, who has twice as much experience. He's got very good grappling himself, got 10 of his 16 wins by sub. He's crafty on the ground and nearly got Makayev out of there with a nasty knee bar, if you remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sub guys like Daniel Barez and Odie Osborne. On top of that, he's pretty well versed in striking. Like he mixes up kicks with his punches so seamlessly as he'd come forward and overwhelm his opponents with 4 to 5 strike combos. This will be close, I feel like, in the early goings. I see both landing on each other as they both love to fight on the front foot. They're both aggressive, but also have pretty penetrable defense. Filio will throw out a lot of volume, but his hands don't come back to his face, and he just stays there kind of flat-footed, admiring his work after exchanges. And one thing about Carpenter is that he's comfortable in the kickboxing range with his Muay Thai, but he's just as comfortable in the pocket where he has a nice in-tight boxing. And since Carpenter stays low while Filio is more upright, I do think Carpenter will more often than not hit the mark with his counters and also as when he'd lunge in with straight shots, especially that nice straight left that he has. And we've seen Filio get hurt before with Barez, like overwhelming him in that fight. And when Barez nearly knocked him out, he was able, like Filio was able to bail himself out with his grappling. But here, if he's hurt, he'd be shooting desperation takedowns on the wrong guy, in my opinion. Like the grappling will be close at times, but I feel like Carpenter is just smarter. Like even if he ends up on his back, I've seen him in a fight against Ronderos. He threatened the triangle choke, transitioned to armbar, reverse position, ends up on top, and then worked his way towards a rear naked choke. That's something that I really like to see on tape. And with Filio, we saw in his last fight against Nascimento, he gets too eager and overzealous, and he can be reversed, and he can just stay there and give up rounds. So all up, close fight in the early goings, but on top of being more well-rounded, I think Carpenter has just more dog in him as well. He fights better the longer the fight goes. He's smarter, more positionally aware. I actually think he can get like a late sub or late TKO here. So yeah, I played Carpenter at minus 120 for 1.5 units, and yeah, all up, just very excited for this fight. Keen to see what you think about this one.
Yeah, nice breakdown. I really like this fight as well. I think it's awesome. I think both guys. I think this is a very well matched fight, and I think the odds are very reflective of that. Like there's nibbles on both sides at all prices. So I think that tells you that people think this is a very competitive match. I'll start with Carpenter. I'm with you. I like him a lot. I think he's very, very well rounded. I think he has a lot of tools in a lot of different areas that make him very, very good. Like his grappling in terms of his pure submissions is good. He's got good wrestling. His striking is better. Can you hear me?
It's cutting off a little bit. Whoa. I think my man just got cut out. We'll just wait a second. We'll be back soon, I'm sure. Yeah, his internet just dropped. Coming back at the moment. We'll give him another 2 minutes. Maybe while we're here, we might quickly break down the next fight. Yeah, fuck it. I'll break down I believe the next fight is Ricardo Ramos versus Khan Ofli. Yeah, I'm not a fan of either of these guys. Like Khan Ofli, pretty low level, 0-2 in the UFC, though hasn't been done any favors. Like he got. Oh, I think my man's back.
I think I'm back. I'm back.
Hey,
Sorry,
brother.
my internet dropped there.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
You can see that all good?
Yeah, no problem.
Sweet. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, I was just where was I? Yeah, on the feet,
You're
I
on.
think it's pretty competitive. I think Clayton Carpenter is definitely the better striker for sure. I think he's got the edge on the feet. My worry about Filio is that he is very slippery on the mat, and he's threatened some good guys. Like he had that deep knee bar on Makayev that probably finishes most guys. He gets into these really dangerous positions a lot of the time. Against Nascimento, it didn't work, but I think Nascimento's a bit of a outlier in the flyweight division because he's fucking massive. He's huge. He's physical. He arguably could be a bantamweight, and I don't think Carpenter is as that. Although he is physical and pretty athletic himself. But yeah, on the feet, I think this is Clayton's fight for sure if it stays on the feet. But I don't think it necessarily will. I think he might look to wrestle, mix things in better. Filio does scare me for sure because he's just dangerous on the mat. He can really get you at any time. But I think Carpenter might be just too smart to allow that to happen. Probably edges this one out, but I'm not hugely confident to be quite honest with you. I think it's a very close fight.
Yeah, the bookies definitely got it right.
Yeah, it feels that way. I'm with you. I want Carpenter to win. I think he probably edges it out, but yeah, it's not a hugely confident one for me.
Yeah, I just think Carpenter's just a bit more smarter.
Yeah, I'm with you. All
Which could be
right.
the difference.
Yeah, literally in a fight that's pretty close to that could be the difference. Okay, up to the main card, we have a featherweight fight between Lucas Almeida, 15-4, taking on Michael Aswell, 10-3. Prices we have Michael Aswell -145. I'm back on Lucas Almeida +125. Okay, I'll kick this one off. I am pretty confident in saying that Michael Aswell -145 is probably not. I think he's a pretty type of fighter. I just don't think he's very good.
Are you just cutting off a bit?
Yeah, you have to be output. He's going to walk forward, put himself in. I'm cutting. Can you hear me?
Whoa. Yeah, the mic is just doing some weird stuff. You good? All right. Just got a message from them for me to go. Yeah, I think this is Michael Aswell's fight to win, and is also his fight to lose if he makes some dumb mistakes. Like I think he outworks Lucas Almeida here. Like he's so much more volume. He's sharp with his boxing combos. He works hard for 15 minutes. He can take a punch, and here he'll be in his natural weight class. Like unlike his debut at lightweight against Balaji Oki, and that was short notice as well. And now he's got a focus camp going into this. He fights out of 4OZ Fight Club in Houston, who's killing it at the moment with Josh Van and Alton Coria. And I imagine preparing for Lucas Almeida isn't rocket science to those guys. Like Almeida has good Muay Thai, heavy hands, and an effective kicking game, but he is pretty slow. However, he can be low volume, and he absorbs more significant strikes than he lands. Like he can be pretty chinny in the past, though. If you can't put him out, he can tough it out and make it a harder fight along the stretch. Um, Always the danger that Almeida can catch Aswell coming in, very possible. But I favor Aswell to get the win here, and I think he can get a round 2, round 3 finish. Though I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to a decision, which is yeah, I do want to do a little bit more tape to see if I want to play like a round 3 or decision prop, or like maybe an in the distance. But I have played Michael Aswell at like minus 130. I believe, just for like 1.5 units. I think he gets the win here.
Very nice. Can you hear me
perfect.
now? I don't know what's going on. My internet's cooking, and not in a good way. But yeah, I mean, I see that. I see that angle. Like, I think Almeida will struggle with the pressure of Aswell, but I think Aswell's just going to put himself in way, and Almeida can crack. He can crack really big. So I do worry about that. I do worry about that as a -140 favorite. But yeah, I can see that he's obviously going to be the one pushing forward, getting in the face. You know, if it goes late, he's probably going to have more upside. But I'm not as confident on you as on him as you are. I don't think. I like the look of the unders, to be honest. I think someone gets finished here, most likely. I'm just trying to find some prices.
Yeah, under 2.5 is probably
On the
a good play.
unders, I can't really see. Having some issues, but you reckon, right?
Just cutting off the middle again, Moreau.
You can't.
I think my bro is cutting off just a little bit. I don't know if he's still there. All right. Nonetheless, I may try to kick this off. I tried doing this breakdown quickly not long ago. But yeah, I'm not a fan of either Khan Ofley and Ricardo Ramos. Khan Ofley's pretty low level. He's 0-2 in the UFC. Though he hasn't been done any favors, he lost against Mayron Santos in the tough finale. Then he got matched up against Mohamed Naimov in Saudi Arabia, which was a tough ask. Like, he's probably one loss away from being cut, and Ricardo Ramos might be on the same boat. He's 1-3 in the last four. I think it's dog or pass here. I could never trust Ramos as a favorite. Has a low IQ, puts himself in harm's way all the time, and he looks for ways out when he's facing adversity. Like always, he's always quick to tap. But in saying that, he does have an impressive submission game, particularly good at taking the back, getting the rear naked choke, and he's pretty unpredictable, often throwing out flashy techniques like spinning elbows and knees. But he does have pretty bad fundamental striking, and he's so hittable in the pocket and at kickboxing range. Like I just wouldn't be surprised if Khan Ofley clipped him. Like Ofley is not good, not great at all, but he has good forward pressure at times and aggressive striking. Like Ramos tends to leave his chin right up there on a platter, and it could cost him here if he ain't careful. Like Ofley is also a strong grappler, and if the opportunity to jump the guillotine or take the back presents itself, I have no doubt he gives it a go. We've seen this happen many times before in Ramos's career, and he doesn't fight it. He's just quick to tap out. Winnable fight for Ofley for sure, but I'm just going to pass, man. Like Ofley himself is very hittable, leaves his head in the center line. He's very predictable in his attacks. Ofley also doesn't defend leg kicks, and he gets very highly compromised when a few start to land. Like I wouldn't be surprised as well if Ramos times a flying knee or even land a spinning back fist or elbow on the guy as he's coming in. So yeah, I think Ricardo Ramos wins this one. No action. No action at all.
I don't
Hey,
know
brother.
what's going on.
You sound better?
Yeah, fucking it'll change, I'm sure. Having some internet issues. Where'd you land on this one?
Ricardo Ramos is the pick. No action. Ugly fight. It might even be winnable for Ofley, but because Ramos just leaves his chin out, he's tends to quit when the going gets tough. But yeah, no interest.
Yeah, I think it's tough to get on the Ofley side here. Just undersized, going to be at such a size disadvantage early, and power. But if he can take it late, he does have a chance, in my opinion. So I don't hate the plus 150 on him. I don't love backing Ramos at favourite price tags. He
Never.
just very rarely backs it up. And if he does, like, I think you're almost better taking him to win this fight ITD, because I feel like that covers his win equity generally most of the time anyway. So I don't hate that look, but yeah, I'm with you. It feels hard to kind of get to Khan Ofley play here.
Definitely.
I'm going to try and keep my breakdowns fucking short just in case any more shit happens. But heavyweight fight here. Jonata Deniz, Ryan's boy, 9-1, taking on Mario Pinto, 10-0. Prices, Jonata Deniz, minus 128. Mario Pinto, plus money. Yeah, I'm struggling with this fight.
Mm-hmm.
I want to back Deniz because I think on the feet Pinto's looked pretty vulnerable at times, but also like the size and the reach are just so comparative. Yes, Janata's like the glory kickboxer. He should have the striking advantage. The only time we've really seen him massively struggle is when people introduce grappling. And I'm not sure Mario Pinto is exactly going to look for that, although he probably should. I'm surprised to see Jonata Deniz like slight favourite. I don't know why. I just wasn't expecting that, just given some of the price tags we've seen on Pinto. But I do think Deniz is the better striker in the striking fight, so it kind of feels like he is the side here, to be honest with you. Not hugely confident. I don't love Deniz. I don't love Pinto either. It's a tough one to want to get involved in. I think Pinto might have more power, just pound for pound. But it's heavyweight. Any one of them that lands can really do damage. But yeah, I think Denise. I think Denise. I don't know. I really don't know. It's a tough one. I think Denise is the side, but I'm not massively confident, as you could tell.
Yeah, Diniz is a guy I used to be high on for some reason. I can't remember why anymore.
Hmm.
I did confidently have him to beat Derek Lewis when they were matched up. And when that fight got cancelled and he was matched up against Marcin Tybura, I was even more confident, and he absolutely shat the bed. He dropped Tybura and decided to follow him to the ground like an idiot, and he got his face mangled, which he definitely deserved. And his last fight against newcomer Alvin Hines wasn't the best look to me. He probably should have gotten the finish, but then again, Alvin Hines was on all sorts of PEDs in that fight, so I could maybe give him a pass. But looking back at his wins, like they're not aging nicely. Like Kyle Williams, he's been losing at PFL, and everyone's been running through Austin Lane. Like Denise did struggle with Lane in round one. He got taken down and controlled on the ground for a long period of time. And funnily enough, his opponent this weekend, Mario Pinto, he as well struggled with Austin Lane in round one. Looked to have the octagon jitters, got dropped, looked shaky out there, and both Denise and Pinto knocked him out in the second round in spectacular fashion. Out of the two, I do think Pinto has a higher ceiling in the division. He's only 27. He has great attributes and is improving at a rapid rate, no doubt. He didn't look red hot in his debut till he got the finish. I think a lot of it was Lane surprising him with wild, awkward striking, and also Pinto planning to be patient in his debut before he let it go. But I like what I saw in his regional tape, and I really liked what I saw in his contender series fight. Like for a heavyweight, I like his overall game. Like he is measured, works behind a long jab, throws his strikes with clean technique. He's very athletic and is able to sprawl and scramble really well. And he has knockout power. Though he doesn't get fixated on a finish and is able to fight a hard 15 minutes. And yeah, there is a lot of room for improvement, like particularly his defense. Like his defense right now is okay. Like he's very boxing orientated, uses shoulder rolls and slips punches, which has in the past got him in trouble. But he does recover well and has resorted to his grappling to bail him out, which I can expect for him to lean on here if he does get rocked. All up at these prices and at plus money, I much prefer to be on the Pinto side if I'm honest. Like I know it's a step up in competition, and Diniz is a very experienced kickboxer who's actually like pretty fast and agile for the division. And he has a path of victory here. Like kick the leg, stay patient early, unload on Pinto as he's covering or moving back and landing that kill shot. But I feel like if he doesn't get Pinto out early, I think Pinto can take this late. As we've seen from Diniz, he can slow down as fights goes on. He has poor fight IQ at times, and he is a fish off his back once he gets taken down. And he's actually quite hittable. Like he doesn't move his head as he's exiting range, and I can just see one of Pinto's lunging straight rights or hooks catching him as he's moving back. And the longer the fight goes, I think it'll be more favorable for Pinto, if I'm honest. Like I attribute his rocky first rounds to him just getting reads and finding openings and just building into fights without forcing the issue. And as he gains confidence, starts to let it go more. And with Diniz being a one-dimensional kickboxer who does slow down little by little, I can see him getting caught and finished in the second or third round. So um, it might come down to who lands first. But yeah, at these prices and for what we're getting at Pinto as a 27-year-old like athletic specimen, I like I'd I'd rather be on his side than Deniz's.
Yeah, I mean, to get him at plus money does feel pretty good given some of the prices we've seen him at. But I just think back to him on Contender Series, things like that, and some of those performances. I know he's against Denise, who again has shit the bed a lot of the time as well. But yeah, maybe you're right. Plus one, whatever it is, 105 on Pinto is the play here, just given what we've seen. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Like if I could rub the last sort of showing or two from Pinto out of my head, it probably isn't. It's probably a very easy click, but yeah, I don't know. Cone Peasy says Denise trash can 100%. Yeah, he's pretty average. Yeah, the boys and voice isn't clear. Yeah, my fault. My internet is bugging. Okay, up the card to welterweight. We got Vicente Luque, 23, 11 and 1, taking on Joel Alvarez, 22 and 3. prices, we have Joel Alvarez minus 600, the comeback on Vicente plus 425. I'll keep this one quick from my end. It's hard to get around Vicente Luque here. Lack of durability, going to be at a huge power disadvantage. Joel is as good on the feet as he is on the ground, damaging everywhere, dangerous everywhere, trying to finish everywhere. I think he's just good, and size and size and overall power output on this fight is insanely different. I think Joel has to. He's going to win. I just hope he doesn't brutalize Vicente too much like he does normally, because he is a brute on the feet and he puts out some damage at times. And I don't want to see Vicente cop that at this point in his career. Just don't think he needs it. So, yeah, I think Joel wins this one, but I'll be watching sort of through fingers like this, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty sad because Vicente Luque, he went from having a very winnable fight against another veteran in Ponzinibbio, who's probably more on the decline than he is, and now he's been matched up against Joel Alvarez. 100% finish rate through 22
Brutal.
wins. On a 3-fight win streak, finishing Diakese, Elvis Brenner, and Drakkar Close. Man, MMA can be a cruel game, I'll tell you that much. It's hard to see a path for Vicente Luque here at this stage of his career. I don't see him getting a knockout. I don't see him locking up a DAS, and I don't see him lasting long enough to make it to the final bell. And like since his brain hemorrhage after the Jeff Neal fight, he's changed his approach to be more grappling orientated, which has seen him pick up wins over RDA and Garimbo. But when forced to stand, he's as hittable as he's always been, minus the durability and tough chin he used to rely on when he used to outlast guys in wars. Like here, Alvarez is the much bigger, stronger, more powerful, and faster guy, and he could get it done in many ways. To be honest, like most of his finishes have come by way of sub, which is very live here. Luque has been subbed 3 times, including that last fight against Holland, but I think Alvarez can get it done on the feet as well. His striking is really coming along as of late. He looked pretty clinical against Brenner with his boxing, brutal in the clinch with his knees and elbows. He's got great timing with his flying knees too, as we saw with Drakkar Close. And Luque does not move his head, never has. And nowadays he is more measured with his entries and footwork when he works in, but his head is still like just right there. And yeah, I do think Alvarez can find the knockout off a short hook in the pocket or elbow in the clinch. And while Alvarez is hittable too, I feel like he can eat Luque's shots right now, no problem. To me, I think it's just a coin toss and calling the sub or KO. Could even see a club and sub, or I could just straight up see Luque laid out from a big punch, which I hope doesn't happen. Yeah, I think Alvarez just wins.
Yeah, on the same side there. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for Luque. All right, co-main event of the evening time. Bantamweight scrap between Davis and Figueiredo. 24-5-1, taking on Montel Jackson, 15-2. Prices, we have a Montel minus 300. Comeback on Davison is plus 250. Ryan, does Davison turn back the clock, come back off a knee injury, and surprise everyone? Or does Montel Jackson, with the most overused stat of having the same size fist as Francis Ngannou, win this fight?
I forgot that it was him that had that stat. Look, first off, it's weird seeing a plus 250 price tag on someone as accomplished as Figueiredo against someone who hasn't really done anything significant yet in Montel Jackson. But I think it's warranted here because of different factors. Like that Sandhagen fight was only 5 months ago where he suffered that knee injury. It wasn't a serious injury at least, but got to account for some time off and rehab. And he's probably returning way too soon here. He's 37 now as well, with a lot of mileage. Being that age makes you pretty ancient in these lighter weight divisions, and he's just simply too small at bantamweight. Like he started off red hot with his first 3 matchups at bantamweight in Rob Font, Cody Garbrandt, and Cheeto, which are good names and good wins, but more of the favorable matchups he could have faced. Like I'm more impressed by the fact that he was the one to drop Cheeto for the first time. But yeah, he's lost his last 2 fights to Peter Yan and Sandhagen, 2 very proven and accomplished fighters in the division. No real shame there. But it was clear he lacked physicality, and his Terminator-like style of marching forward was just not as effective up at bantamweight as it was down in flyweight. Like his style is definitely much more suited to monstering the little guys there. And Montel Jackson is a big boy. He stands at 5'10", has a near 8-inch reach advantage on Figgy. And Jackson is easily one of the more overlooked fighters in the division. It's his fault for being so inactive, averaging one fight a year. I don't know why he has so much time off, but he is an incredibly strong grappler with great top control and ability to get submissions. And his pinpoint accurate with and clinical with his striking. Like he has that one shot knockout power in his hands, as we saw in that 18-second knockout over Blackshear, where I believe we both had money on Blackshear. Horrific viewing.
Yeah.
But also, he has the cardio to outwork guys for 15 minutes too, like his last fight against the very durable Daniel Marcos. In all honesty, I will be surprised if this fight sees the judges' scorecards. Like I know Figgy is tough, but he's there to be hit. Jackson will use his huge height and reach advantage well to snipe Figgy from far away. He has way too much power and hand speed for Figgy to deal with, and I think he can get dropped or forced to shoot a sloppy takedown. And if he does try grappling, I see him just being out physical and ending up on his back and ultimately finding himself to choose between getting choked or ground and pounded out. So yeah, I don't think Figgy at age 37 competes well here, especially against a guy as big as Montel Jackson. So yeah, I think Jackson probably wins this. Hopefully, a bit more activity on his end once he gets this win. But yeah,
Yeah, I concur with everything you just said. I think the biggest thing I agree with you is that Montel Jackson only has himself to blame. Like, he's so unknown in these parts because he's just so fights so infrequently. But I'm with you. Size advantage is enormous in this fight. Coming back after that knee injury, don't love. 37 in the Bantamweight division, don't love. Is Figueiredo, he's been winning most of his fights by wrestling in bantamweight. Is he going to out-wrestle Montel Jackson? I mean, I don't think so. I really don't think so. And I don't think he's going to win the fight standing on the feet, punch for punch with Montel Jackson. So how does he win this fight? I mean, it would have to be a club and sub, like somehow clip him into a guillotine, power guillotine, something like that. But I kind of don't see it. I'm with you. I think Montel Jackson probably rolls here. And I'm also with you that I like someone to finish this fight on whichever side that is. So under 2.5, looks like you can get it like plus 175 in some places. I think that's a massive price tag. And I think, unfortunately, Montel Jackson might KO him.
yeah.
But it's going to be a shame. I hope he walks out with his Mission Impossible theme song, and we just get to ride off into the glory with Figgy a few more times. But yeah, I think his time in the UFC is limited. To be honest, he hasn't looked amazing physically in the last few fights, and I think that's kind of generally a pretty telltale sign. So yeah, I think we've got a few more fights with him, but yeah, I think he might lose this one at home, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, main event of the evening time. We have a lightweight main event between Charles Oliveira, 35-11, taking on Mateusz Gamrot, 25-3. You can hear me all good?
Yeah. You haven't dropped off since he came back.
Beautiful. All right, this one as close as it gets. An absolute pick'em, 50-50 down the middle, minus 110 each way. And again, I see exactly why that's the case. I think this is one of the most volatile fights that you can make in lightweight currently right now, to be quite honest with you. I mean, just on the Oliveira side, you got him coming off a KO to Tapuria. What is it? 3 to 5 months ago, somewhere in that range. Like, and probably like Charles has taken a lot of damage over his career. That's the worst knockout he's had in quite a long time. So that's a worry immediately for me. Obviously, you've got people talking about him being in Vegas cornering for Dana White's Contender Series and things like that. I'm not too worried about that. Like, these guys still get their training in no matter where they are. So yeah, it's an issue with jet lag and things like that. But in terms of getting the training in, I'm not as concerned. And then back on the Gamrot side, in terms of volatile, the guy has a dust chin as it is already, gets hurt plenty, but somehow finds his way through these fights. And I mean, this is going to be the most quintessential Oliveira Gamrot fight that you can imagine in your head, in my opinion. Like, I think Gamrot's going to out-wrestle him at times. I think Gamrot's going to be scrappy. I think Gamrot's going to get hurt at some point. I think Gamrot could hurt Charles at some point as well. Like, Gamrot can crack. He's not a good striker, in my opinion, overall, but he's been working on it, and I do think he can crack because he mixes in like these overhands that he sets up with his takedowns early and things like that. We saw him crack Benil on the feet that was the other way around. But we have seen him hurt people at points. He hurt Dan Hooker in the last fight,
Yeah.
which is I think a decent stylistic matchup on the feet to compare Oliveira to. Like long frame, kicking output. I'd say Oliveira's got more boxing power than Dan Hooker, but I think it's a pretty relatively decent comparison to make in terms of their frame and whatnot. And Gamrot did fight in that fight. He got hurt, as Gamrot usually does. Fought through hurt Hooker, which I didn't think would happen in a million years. But I do think that is an avenue here. Like Charles coming back after being KO'd brutally against Ilya a couple of months ago. What's his chin going to be like? We really don't know. He's 35 now. He's probably 65 in terms of fight years, like in terms of the damage he's taken. And his fight style doesn't really change. He like fights off the back of the teep, fights long, moves forward, which I think will be big for him here. I think the big thing that wants me, like when I think about this fight, that makes me want to play Charles Oliveira is that the finishing danger is just so much higher on the Charles side. He can knock Gamrot out. He can submit him. He can submit him from a multiple ways. My main question is that knockout loss coming back so quickly after that. It is a concern for me. So I'm not hugely confident on either side here. Gun to my head, I picked Charles because I think his finishing threat is way, way bigger than Gamrot. But Gamrot's going to have upside in this fight, in my opinion. So I'm not super convinced on either side. I like the under 4.5 minus 190. I think that's a decent parlay piece because I do think someone is getting finished. I think Charles is going to have a few opportunities with the submissions. But in saying that, Gamrot's like an ADCC submission grappler, like very well credentialed himself. So it's a tough one. But I think if I'm on the Charles side, I'm probably pretty content to just play him ITD because I think that's most of his win equity as well. I think if Gamrot wins, he's somehow scrambling his way to wrestling and winning minutes and controlling minutes and things like that. So yeah, I think Charles wins, but again, I'm not hugely confident. I think it's a really close, volatile fight.
Yeah, nice breakdown, man. I'm not sure if you follow Charles on Instagram, but he has debuted a new nickname.
Oh, what is it?
Charles the Predator.
Is it really?
Yeah, he posted it online.
Interesting.
But yeah, I am on the Charles the Predator Oliveira here. Look, few things I don't like, as you've touched on. Returning relatively soon after being killed. That was probably one of the more brutal knockouts we've seen in his career. We've seen him like come back like stronger from a lot of losses, but that was just a straight up like he got killed and he came back to life a few minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been in the UFC since 2010. There's so much mileage. He's had his ups and downs, had his legendary run towards the title, had his legendary reign with action-packed title fights against Chandler, Poirier, and Gaethje, and now he's 35. Like you said, it's probably 65 in fighting years, entering his 47th professional fight. Currently 2-2 in his last 4. Definitely reason for concern if you're backing Charles. You got to think the wheels are about to fall off if they haven't already fallen off. But yeah, he's up against Gamrot, who himself isn't coming into this with the most ideal circumstances. He took this on short notice after Fiziev pulled out, which I think Fiziev would have been a bigger threat to Charles's chin.
For sure.
Like there, I would have confidently had Fiziev to probably put him out. But yeah, Gamrot had about 3 weeks to prepare, though I don't doubt he is in shape. But Oliveira already preparing for this date and Gamrot heading into enemy territory, like something he's used to. But taking away like the outside factors and just looking into the stylistic matchup, I think Charles can get this done. Like we know Gamrot's game. He will constantly shoot for the legs, crotch sniff his way to victory. Like he averages 5.3 takedowns per 15 minutes and he doesn't get discouraged if you stuff a takedown. He'll just keep on going. It's not the most exciting fight style. I'm certainly not the biggest fan of it, but it is effective. Like the thing is, he doesn't have the best top control. He can be reversed. All guys can just work their way back up pretty often, especially with guys with solid jiu-jitsu like Beneil Dariush and Dan Hooker, who were able to threaten subs to work their ways back up. And while Oliveira can be taken down, he is pretty active from his guard. He's great with his elbows and hammer fists off his back. He's crafty with setting up sub attempts. And he is great at working back up using his jiu-jitsu. Like I can recall him doing it against Islam, sweeping him from the bottom to get back on his feet, and even against Chandler when he was like extremely hurt, he threatened a triangle to work his way back up. Another factor is that Gamrot just shoots for the legs and his head is just there begging to be front choked. Like rewatching his fights, I've lost count of the times where guys have been in prime position to attack a guillotine. Like Dan Hooker snatched that neck every single time Gamrot shot at him and used it. He didn't commit to the guillotine, but he just used the threat of it to get back up. And even Ludovic Klein, like in the third round of the last fight, stuffed the takedown in the third round and was in position as Gamrot just had his head there. And Oliveira will not hesitate to snatch that guillotine or will work towards a Das, ninja choke, or maybe even a Peruvian necktie. I'm sure Gamrot will know this, but if he gets hurt or is on the back foot and forced to shoot a desperation takedown, I think the choke is right there for Charles. As for striking, I actually think Gamrot is pretty good as long as he's coming forward and dictating the range. Like he does work behind a nice jab, uses nice low kicks, and while he's counterable as he lunges in, the threat of his takedowns keep opponents like guessing, which allows for him to find success with his blitzes. But man, going backwards, he is very hittable and he gives some of the worst optics when he's like, especially when he's on his bike and his takedowns are being stuffed and he's getting back up and then moving backwards again. Like he'd be wise to keep the striking exchanges minimal in this fight because Oliveira is just the much better striker. Gamrot, he does carry a little power. I don't think he has the power to knock out Oliveira. Probably has the power to just sting him. And yeah, Gamrot gets hurt in almost every fight. Like he's been knocked down against Dan Hooker, RDA, Jalen Turner, Benil Dariush, Arman, and even Garam Kudaraledze back in the day. And I think Oliveira has more power than most of these guys, but more importantly, he has way better finishing instincts than all of them. I think maybe not Turner like back in his day, but we've seen Oliveira go in for the kill so many times, and not many have survived this onslaught. I can't name anyone recently who's been hurt by Oliveira and weathered the storm. It's usually Oliveira that's weathering the storm, and if Oliveira drops him or has him seriously hurt, I think Gamrot can get like TKO'd through like unanswered strikes or um, put himself in position to get choked as he's hugging the leg, trying to survive the onslaught. So, yeah, I like Charles Oliveira here to get maybe a round 2, round 3 TKO. I did play him at slight plus money at plus 102, but yeah, very volatile fight as you touched on. Yeah, gun to my head, Oliveira.
Yeah, you summed it up very, very nicely. I think that like a decent comparison is that Arman fight too, where Arman had plenty of success, but Charles had plenty of success too, and would look more likely to finish the fight at times. And I can see that with the wrestling at Gamrot coming in. So, yeah, I'm with you. I like ITD, Charles ITD, under 3.5, minus 120, under 4.5, minus 190. Any of those feel pretty good in this one, in my opinion.
Yeah, that under 4.5 is really nice. Like that's
Yeah,
a nice price. That's parlayable with something else, in my
you can
opinion.
put that with something for sure. All right, let's go bottom to top, final picks, and then we will get out of here. My apologies about the internet issues. Okay, Luan Lacerda, Simon Oliveira.
Lacerda.
Yeah, it's an ugly one, but Lacerda, I think. Palastri or Kovalkiewicz?
At these numbers, it has to be Kovacevic.
Yeah, Kovalkiewicz for me too. Volta Walker, Muhammad Usman.
Walter Walker. Though, just be careful with this fight.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly the same for me. Lucas Rocha and Stewie Nickel.
Stewie Nickel.
I'll go with Stewie Nickel, but I think it's a very, very close fight. Bia Mosquita and Arena Alexieva.
Bia Mosquito.
Yeah, literally anyone versus Alexieva. Vitor Petrino, Thomas Jefferson.
Vitor Petrino.
Yeah, it hurts me to say that, but I think Vitor will win. Jafel Filio, Clayton Carpenter.
Clayton Carpenter.
Yeah, I'm going to go Clayton too. Lucas Almeida, Michael Aswell.
Michael Aswell for me.
Yeah, I might have a nibble on Almeida. I think he can finish him. Ricardo Ramos, Khan Offley.
Probably Ramos.
Yeah, I'll go Ramos too, as much as it pains me. Junata Denise, Mario Pinto.
Mario Pinto.
I'm going to go Mario Pinto as well at dog money. Vicente Luque, Joel Alvarez.
Joel Alvarez.
Yeah, my Spanish brother. He's going to get it done, unfortunately. Davison Figueiredo, Montel Jackson.
Montel Jackson.
Montel Jackson for me too. And finally, main event of the evening, Charles Oliveira, Mateus Gamrot.
Charles Oliveira.
Yeah, Charles Oliveira, ITD. For me, dangerous fight though. I'm pretty scared. But that is UFC Fight Night Rio de Janeiro. Charles Oliveira taking on Mateus Gamrot in the main event. Very, very excited for this one. Should be fun. Make sure you keep your eye on Ryan's Twitter at Desperate Times with a Z1. He posts all his picks for free there. And keep an eye on mine at Dribble Sport at Provide Picks as we do post our wager-wise picks of the week over there. Although we are on a fucking awful run with those. Like somehow the ones we pick are the ones that loses when the other ones win. So it's a tricky battle, but we'll talk about it this week and we'll.
It's unbelievable, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been an interesting run on those. Like the ones we put out just end up losing. It's been a funny run.
Yeah. I kind of hope that we just keep at it and hopefully break the curse.
Yeah, I think the curse will break this week. So we'll chat about that off stream. We'll pick a few plays and you'll see that on our Twitters. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. Good luck this weekend with your bets at UFC Fight Night de Janeiro, and we'll see you next week.